Hey, what's up, everybody? We're just gonna go into the way we started B&D cleaning. What was that, 3 years ago now, Drew?
2019, January 2019.
January 2019. Yeah, and so that was the first company that Drew and I started. It took a while to take off, and we went through like a lot of obstacles and hurdles to continue, doing what we do and doing like what we like to do. Um, So like in the beginning, Drew, what our first job was the move in move out of the storage building, right? Or the move out clean of the storage building.
Yeah, we did a storage building for a friend, and then we got enough money to go get a business license and get legit. And then we took on the multifamily subdivisions.
Now, yeah, that was our next job, right?
Yeah, that
Um,
was the
so
first big one.
yeah, it
Website was
obviously helped that we kind of had a contact that was a GC, right, or a superintendent on the job.
Yeah, we had a superintendent, buddy.
Yeah, so that you met through basketball or something.
Yeah, I coached his son.
So it's always good to like whatever business I guess you're gonna get into. It's good to have contacts for that business, I guess, or people to network with. But we got that job, and then we still ended up working with other people. Like we worked with JJ, who
Yeah,
who was Hubbard's project manager, right? Is that
yeah, he was like his assistant.
right? So we ended up having that contact and got lucky and got a job that was a multifamily like subdivision, and we're doing post construction clean is what we started out with, right? Just
Yeah,
cleaning up around the site, picking up nails, wood, throwing it in the dumpster, that kind of stuff. So the other subs could come in and do their work, um, which is kind of how we started. So we did that for what, 4 or 5 months.
good.
yeah. I mean, we got a bill piled up.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get into. Yeah, we weren't getting paid.
So we
So
had to figure that out. And it took, I mean, it took until, I mean, we started in January and it took until like the end of May to
hey,
pay. And I had to call the guy and good cop, bad cop him because it was like one of those days when I was struggling and I was full time business and like I was just going around passing out cards, basically telling anybody and everybody, like, I mean, anything can be cleaned. So, like, I mean, I don't see why anybody couldn't use me. So I was telling everybody I had a cleaning business, but I wasn't getting work yet. And so at first I called the guy freaking out. It's like, just couldn't comprehend how somebody could owe somebody $18,000. And
Jeez.
then
mm-hmm.
I had to, like, they told me to, like, call him back and basically, like, just be nice to him and just play into it. And I just called him back and I let him try to tell me how business worked, which was ironic because he was the one that owed me money for 6 months. But he's older than me, so he knows more. So I just let him babble about all that. And then, I don't know, they met me in the courthouse and they had a check. It was so much anticipation. But by that time, when we got the money, it was pretty much already spent on stuff or like there's places for it to go. So
Right, yeah, because we were racking up bills, or we're taking on other jobs, trying to get money to keep that job to keep going, basically.
yeah, because we
I
had
think,
subs on there's two subdivisions, so we had subs on the other one.
yeah, so we were trying to do jobs and then pay them, so we weren't digging too like deep into our own pocket to keep this business afloat that we just started, and we're $18,000 in debt, like 5 months in, haven't got paid. So now we're just taking smaller jobs. And Drew and I was working full time, but Drew had quit his job and started the business full time. So all of this was going on to where Drew didn't have a full time job, and we had to make this business our priority so he could live, and just kept pushing with these other side jobs and work until like 2 in the morning sometimes. Remember that one job we didn't leave until 2 or 3 in the morning?
Yeah, I got fired the next day because of that job.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, I showed up
That was,
like
that
two
was
hours
Drew's
late to
turning
work.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I remember like calling people and asking them if I can file unemployment if I have a business, and like I didn't know what to do, dude. Like I just went around from 7 o'clock to 3 o'clock like a regular job, and I passed out cards everywhere. And that was all I did. And I used what little money I had for gas, and I would use the credit card. And I just kept trying to make $100 a day, and I would meet people. And I had that job delivering pizzas. I got a part-time job delivering pizzas so I could keep going.
Right, but then
And
you'd hand out cards to the people. Like whenever you're delivering pizzas, you would hand out cards to people also.
yeah, I put flyers on every box. I'd drive around with flyers, and I'd put a flyer on every box. I mean, the best thing I could do is blindly pass cards out and just wing it. Because, like, the thing about it is, if you're just telling people you think could use your services, like if you're telling them, I'll do this for you, like if you're only approaching people that you think will accept your card, then you're not really doing it right, because there's so many people I gave a card to that I remember walking away and just being like, I know, like, damn, they are not gonna call me, and like they'll call me and be like, hey, you handed me your card. Like, I handed a card to another cleaning company one time, and the dude laughed at me, and I ended up being like good friends with the guy, and he like gives me advice, and then like sometimes he calls me about prices, and he even subbed me out a job, and I made $600 like barely doing anything, and it was because I handed out a card. Like, one card can make you so much money. So like if I could give anybody advice, it would be to hand out cards to everybody. I mean, hand your own mom a card. Like, it doesn't matter. You have nothing to lose.
Yeah, for sure. So like that like last lifeline of basically this is the business. This is what you really love doing. So you wanted to be committed to it, and then it ended up, I mean, working out, and you're still doing it today.
Yeah, and I'm way more comfortable in life than when I had that job, because I thought I needed that paycheck every week. I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills, but like America's set up for people to start businesses, and it just works out, and you don't really know how it works out. You can't really explain it, but you just kind of got to believe in yourself and dive in, and then stuff will just slowly, like, you'll have problems and they'll just work out. I mean, you just got to grind, but everything else works out. Like, I'm way less stressed now. This is year 3.
Right. So yeah, we were going through all that, and Drew had just went full time, and then I can't remember, we had that yeah, because so I had a heart attack in March of that year. So we had just started getting this business going. We had that big commercial job and thinking that, this was it. We thought we were doing really well, but still struggling to get paid from that job, and doing just this side work, whenever we could. And then I end up having a heart attack. So Drew's having to take on all of this work, for a month at least. Um,
Yeah.
kind of by himself. So as we were going through that, like we just kind of decided to split up in a way, because I was going to go back to school, but Drew always knew that like I wanted to get back into, some sort of business with him, like do something. So we just kind of collaborated, and eventually B&D Properties, came about, and we added Philip, who's really good at what
We,
he does.
we needed someone to hold it down.
Right.
That's where Philip comes in. Philip's role is to hold it down.
Right.
Period. No questions needed.
Doing my best.
Hey.
So yeah, so it, like, we've gone through, I feel like, the hardest events that, and then still came out, and to think that we were down $18,000 to like even start sounds unheard of. Now we're keep going, like we kind of just brush it off because like, yeah, it's whatever, like we just did it. But I feel like other people think that that's crazy or amazing, or if they like, you know what I'm saying, they never would have got that money and they would have quit.
It's crazy thing about when I passed out the cards, but I was kind of the test dummy, because like I got a GED, and when I decided I wanted to quit college and everything, I just kind of quit. Like, I really didn't have nothing to lose, so I was kind of like the test dummy, and I just really, I mean, they say it's betting on yourself, so I guess I really bet on myself. I mean, it was like, I mean, I don't know. I just you kind of got to have no conscience about it.
And
You
all
can't
the
be like
experience.
thinking negative.
Yep. You got some games. You're a lot more wise now than when you first started.
Yeah, like if I ever,
just a month
like,
ago.
I never have to start a business again in my mind. Like, if I started another business, it would never be the same experience, because now I know what to not worry about, and I know how to get in a rhythm. Like, the biggest thing for me was getting in a rhythm with my payments, because like these commercial people paying 30 to 60 days, and like some people you got to beg for your money. I mean, they say the worst part is chasing your money down, but like now I'm in a rhythm to where I can take care of my bills and stuff, and like I need the money, but I can hold off a little longer. Like it's like certain things that you gotta know how to do, but it's crazy because like I never had to worry about it again because like I get it now.
Yeah.
So I'll never go to school and I'll never, you know what I mean? I'll never do anything. I'll never pursue. I'll never apply for a job. I'm never gonna apply for a job. If it kills me, I'll never apply for another job. I get job offers for like drafting and stuff like that I was going to school for. Never. We'll never do it again.
Right? Because I feel like we went through like the hardest part. The
Yeah.
hardest
Yeah.
part was what we did. Like we came out on top, and that it couldn't have got any harder. And if it did, then everybody would have quit.
I remember crying,
People had
dude.
no option to quit, and then that's what
I,
happens. Like you just get over it and get through it.
I remember texting you and I was crying. I was like literally crying. I was sitting at Walgreens in Cleveland. And I was sitting there and I was like, dude, I don't understand why everybody wants us to fail and they keep trying to take our money. Because that guy did his windows and he tried to send me half the money.
Oh
Say
yeah,
like it was all squatchy and stuff. Huh?
wasn't it the South Carolina job?
It was like in Livonia. And like the first time we did work for him, he loved it. And then the second time when he was there, he was so rude to me and my brother. And like he kept giving me like this asshole advice. He would be like, I said something about me trying to pressure wash. And he's like, well, the thing is, you're either going to clean or you're going to pressure wash. And I was like, why can't I do both? Like, you know what I mean? And like, here I am, year 3 doing both. And if I would have not done pressure washing, I don't think I would have made it. Like, there is so much in pressure washing for me. And it's my favorite one. And I don't know. I think if I could give anybody advice, it would be to ask questions and don't think you know everything. Because like that old man thought he knew everything and he's successful, but like he was wrong about a lot of stuff. And like the guy who taught me to pressure wash, I messaged him the day I got fired because I was freaking out and I needed to just talk to people. And I was like, dude, how do you do it? And then he FaceTimed me and he told me everything. And next thing you know, I started with an electric pressure washer and then I turned it back in. And then I bought a better one and then I turned that one back in and then I bought the best one. And like, it's all about like, I don't know. It's crazy because when you're just there and like, I remember sitting there and I'm like, dude, how am I going to get $1,000 pressure washer? And I just remember thinking that because, like, you know what I mean? Like, what the hell? And it's like I was making $18.50 an hour. Now I'm making nothing. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get. And I would just take the money I had, and I would just buy equipment with it. And then I would have like maybe some food money or something, but I don't know. I just winged it. And now I got 3 pressure washers, and it's like I just go and look in my garage sometimes, and it just blows my mind. Because like now it's nothing to buy that kind of stuff, but
Yeah,
it's
right.
a journey.
Yeah, it really
It's
is.
a journey.
It's crazy how there's some of the stuff you have to go through just to like I don't know get to where you are. It's insane, but just keep
It's the
pushing.
greatest process I've ever done in my life, hands down. Is the greatest thing I've ever done. I have seen so much great. And then next thing you know, my mom's working for me. You know what I mean? And then all these kids I coach start working for me. And then it's like I get Freddie, and Freddie moves in and he starts working for me. And then you see his life change, and then you see my mom's life change. And it's like it can change everybody's life if you do it right. It's just amazing, dude. So you just started a business. Like that's why like everybody argues over politics, and I'm just so grateful that I live somewhere where I could just do what I did. And it's like it's crazy.
Yeah, right. Because it's not like you're making like the goal isn't to make well for some people it may be, but like a lot of people can live off of you know living around their means or if they want to live slightly above their means. It doesn't cost a lot of money. Whenever you run a business, like you may bring home $40,000 a year, but with the taxes and benefits and all of that type of stuff, that's the same as making 60, 70 a year at a job, but you get to make your own schedule, have people under you, that type of deal. So I don't think people realize that either. Whenever they think about business owners, they don't think they make as much money sometimes like small business owners.
Man, it's crazy. I definitely know I'm doing better than I was at that job, and if I would have stayed there and like got my degree and stuff, but like it's just like I got these goals this year. Like if I sell $250,000 and I just use it right, like once you start buying equipment and buying stocks, like I use my company. I always used to be like, I used to think you had to come from money to be an investor. And I'd always be like, oh man, look at that guy's privileged. And then it's like, I'm starting to become an investor and I didn't even mean to. And I just get so hungry and my money just like, there's nothing like doing a commercial job and getting a check for like $5,000. And it's like, if I get checks in sums instead of getting paid weekly, I just throw a chunk of it into something, and then I just don't think about it again, and I just try and chase it down more. And it's crazy because like you can really become an investor when you bet on yourself and you just get aggressive. I mean, don't be stupid, but you can be aggressive. I mean, I'm pretty aggressive. I'm
Right.
not Philip, but I'm aggressive.
Yeah, man, I think it's all good points and stuff. Like people look for this kind of advice, I guess, whenever, especially younger people, and people that are like us. Like we didn't have parents that were business owners. We just had blue collar, working parents pretty much. They couldn't guide us through creating our own business and give us any sort of advice for that type of stuff. So, and a lot of people don't get that privilege either. Some people do, but a lot of people don't. So
my grandpa was an
trial and
entrepreneur
error.
that I got it from, but he didn't know. Like he was really good at starting a business and getting it going, but he didn't do bookkeeping. He didn't keep up with anything. He just was making so much money that he didn't know what to do with it because he grew up poor. And they was just like, hey, I just bought a car. I just bought this. And it's like, we had everything and then we lost everything. So like, I remember seeing it and it's like in my blood, but like it wasn't like he could teach me like, hey, this is how you do your accounting. Like there was no accounting, dude. Like there was no accounting. Like it was like you get the money, you spend the money. I bet you I'd be surprised. I don't even know how he did his taxes, man. But hey, that man was doing all the schools in the 90s. So I mean he had that hustle.
Right. And that's
I
what
just had to structure it, dude. If I can take that talent and structure it and just not get too excited, then I can get you know what I mean? We can all get somewhere.
right. Well, yeah, I thought it would be a good idea to kind of dive into that because, like I said, our experience is something that I'm sure quite a few people go through, but like you won't understand it until you go through it. But just know that if you start a business, most likely, you got to go through some of those shitty parts.
You can't stop. Like the other dude, like Rhett. I had two potential business partners, and it was Brett and Rhett. Rhett Branson and Brett Ranson. No, but I went with Brett because I didn't feel like Rhett was talking about crazy stuff. Like he was trying to do all kinds of stuff. And he ended up starting a business when we started a business. And like 4 months in, he gave up because he couldn't get consistent work. But like it took me almost a year to get consistent work.
Yeah.
And then like sometimes it's not even that consistent. I mean, it's pretty freaking consistent, but like you got to really just like get bigger jobs worked in there. And then when you're dead, like during Christmas, you can chill. Like I probably sat inside and played PS5 for like 2 straight weeks in December and I wasn't worried about it. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it is what it is.
All right. Well, all right. I guess we'll let Philip talk a little bit. We got a couple jobs lined up that he's gonna go over and just go through a process of kind of like our quote process and how we're thinking about going about this job. So
Hold it down, Philip.
yeah, Philip. All right, hold on, Philip. I'll stop sharing.
All right, let's see.
Now.
Yeah, okay. Cool. So we typically use Wix for our website and all the other functions. It's actually really cool for sending quotes out. So you can kind of put someone in there, save their information, your address, email. So if they want more work, you can just, click on the name, you already have the information in, and that's just the ease of being able to type in everything. These are just some quotes we've sent since last year. Some were just trial and some we actually did get. But the cool thing about it is when you get a quote, the customers, I guess, forget about it. But when you get one, you can either accept it, reject it, or just kind of look at it. And they're expired, but they look at it. So they still said, okay, we'll let you do the work, but we're just trying to get more, more common themes. Like, okay, if you see the quote and you like the price, just click accept. So that'll tell us that, okay, we go ahead and send an invoice out, and we're not waiting. We're not wondering.
Right.
Yes, all these have been done and completed. Wednesday, we're supposed to start Darren's and Ben's. Darren wants a completely bathroom remodel. He had some water damage that was done, and his insurance came due or something like that. Anyway, we actually met him with him today. We got the tile for the floor. We got some spacers, we got some grout, cement, all that stuff in, and then we're supposed to start Wednesday. But then he's like, well, I kind of want to do this. I kind of want to change the shower up. So right now I'm actually having to revise the quote with our construction team and send it back out. But he said that he's already comfortable with us, and so he's just kind of ready for it to start. And actually, Patrick is another one. Patrick wants another bathroom remodel done. His would be much simpler. Darren's is actually like 250 square feet, which is actually a pretty big size bathroom. Patrick's is only like maybe 120, so that's much smaller. Ben has a unfinished basement that he wants to turn into finished. He has a few rooms, actually really nice down there, and he asked us to come do the drywall. And so I gave him out a number, and we're supposed to start Wednesday. Drywall team gets out there. They're gonna have it delivered, and so hopefully that'll be done by Saturday, Sunday. So we'll have to see. He did the right thing. He accepted it, but typically they don't. But we just have to get on to him for it. But yeah, that's what's going on this week. That'll set us up pretty well, and we'll be able to get more equipment and see who reaches out in the next coming weeks.
And where did you find all these jobs, like on Facebook?
Yeah. Well, the first ones we did, Patrick was from Facebook, Ben was from Facebook, and Darren was actually from Thumbtack, which is really cool. But yeah, people starting to actually see who we are and what we can do. So that's been helpful to reach out.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I mean, Facebook is free, and we found quite a few of most of our jobs that we've done and that we're about to do, I guess, from Facebook. So,
yeah. So even if
you just use the stuff that's at your disposal, like your resources.
Right. Like even if you can't do a particular job, we always try to find someone who can. Like I remember Drew someone wanted a pricing for fence. We haven't done fencing. We just reached out and do what we can and can give the guy a number within a day, but still like.
Yeah, we'll be your price.
We're always here to help, regardless of.
We'll help you find good prices.
Yeah, for sure.
And again, so we've had these jobs, and I'm still working full time. Philip works full time, and then Drew's full time cleaning. So this is just something that, this list that we have, this is just stuff that we've been able to accomplish in our extra time. Like we're already all real busy, but I found time to build the website and keep the social media going and, do quotes on a couple jobs. And Philip's found time to, quote most of these jobs and then go out to the site and, get all of this stuff kind of lined up. And Drew, he has all the contacts and networking and events and stuff that we need to attend, and all the people that he sees on a daily basis whenever he's out doing his thing cleaning could be possible contacts that we could use in the future, that we could do more work for.
I get so many jobs by accident, and I just ask questions. Like I try to learn from everybody and just ask and just bring it back home, and then we just grow it.
Homeowners are just like, hey, dang, that looks really good. Someone who can install my floor. It's always something. Like with Ben's like, hey, like after you've done this, can you think you can do my shower? I was like, yeah, man, I'll have, I'll get someone to look at it. It's always something like that, and this will be great for content. So
yeah, that's been a huge goal for us. Is my philosophy is, I'd rather not land 100 different jobs. I'd rather land one job and be able to do 100 different things on that job.
Right.
When it comes to commercial, if we can be, a contractor on that site and get the subs in there to get what needs to be done on flooring, drywall, windows installation, just from that one job, you make a lot of money off that one job instead of trying to find 10, 20 other jobs.
Yeah. So hopefully this is just to start new year, and then we'll be able to actually get someone who can do this stuff. So we'll be able to focus on other activities. So.
Yeah, and it's crazy how, like I said, we all work full time. So, and you see the amount of quotes and stuff that we do, and just showing that obviously you'll never be able to count the amount of hours researching and creating this site and the social media and doing what we do daily, but this gives you an idea at least that you could do it.
Right. Yeah.
especially if you're working full time and I go to school. So find a way to make it work. But is there anything else we missed? Is there anything else we need to mention or talk about for this one?
No, I don't think so.
Alrighty then. We'll just go ahead and cut it. We'll cut it off. Hit the like button and subscribe to our channel if you want to see, some of our progress. And, yeah, hopefully start getting our portfolio started forming soon. We'll be posting before and after vids of some of that content. So we'll see you guys later.
Sweet.